Hi, hello everyone, and thank you for joining in today's video. My name is Elizabeth A. Brakwihaba. I am a Ashesi student studying business administration, and I will be taking you through the topic of the impact of financial literacy on an individual's lifestyle. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy my end of semester project. So, we will be taking you through a few things, which is the introduction, the research question, methods, referential, inferential testing, results from the testing, and then interpretation. So, again, to repeat the topic of interest, we are studying the impact of financial literacy on an individual's lifestyle. I've selected a few literature reviews that do a decent analysis of the both good and bad. And here are some snippets. Feel free to pause and read them in your own time. But this is from Taft et al. In 2013. And she, in this snippet, gives a definition of financial literacy, which is the means or the ability to understand and analyze financial decisions, planning for the future, or responding appropriately to the event. The next is from, and I apologize if I cannot pronounce the name well, Fermancia and Molana, who state that with proper financial management supported by good financial literacy, it is hoped that people's living standards will increase. La, please again feel free to pause and read these in your own time. Also, I've given the links at the end of the presentation. Lastly, we have Hogarth and Hilgert, who state that well informed, financially literate consumers should be able to make better decisions for their families. Again, these seem like very financial literacy positive and has an effect. But then please note that they also do a very detailed analysis as to why, and then they do analyze the opposite side as well. For the research question, we are looking at, does a person's level of financial literacy have an effect on their lifestyle? And to test this, the association given is is an adult poverty status associated with their level of financial literacy. The methods used, first we'll start off with the sample information. So this information is given from the National Financial Wellbeing Survey, which was done in September of 2017. The sampling method is quota sampling, and there'll be a little bit of detail on that later. And it was conducted with 6,394 Americans aged 18 and above. So basically anybody of working age and over. The subsets were seven categories because the survey is quite extensive, and so we had to break it down into variables that would be most helpful in explaining the results and giving us the results that we are looking for after the testing. And so for measures, this is where the quota sampling comes in. So in terms of measures, the research team noticed that there might be a difference in results between people aged 18 to 62, which is the normal average working age, and people aged older. And so when conducting the survey, they handed out the same questions to the different age groups to monitor the responses. However, the distinction was not shown within the test results, and so it was just the results of everybody from 18 and above combined, which is why I stated it just so you know, but it was not distinct within the survey. For inferential tests, one must know that the explanatory variables chosen for the testing and the response variable chosen for the testing were both categorical. And as a result, the chi-square test for independence was used to test the associations below, which are between an individual's poverty status and their level of financial literacy. The null hypothesis is that there is no association between poverty status and an individual's level of financial literacy. However, what we will be testing is the alternate hypothesis, which is there is an association between poverty status and an individual's level of financial literacy. The results are as follows. For the two independent graphs with only one variable, we can see the just a quick measurement of how certain the respondents gave their answers. One is in the actual numbers, and then the other one is in percentages. I'm so sorry for the noise in the background. Then we have the bivariate graphs. one for the proportion of individuals whose lifestyle is affected by financial security, and one titled Proportion of Individuals That Can Handle Unexpected Events. And based on the Bavaria graphs, one can tell that individuals who respond more positively towards variables such as I'm securing my financial future or my finances control my life. And then positively, I mean individuals who are very sure that they are doing such things or that their finances aren't controlling their lives tend to have less concern when it comes to not having enough money to feed their lifestyle or get the things they want or being able to handle unexpected expenses. And this kind of speaks towards the need for financial literacy or how it does actually affect people. Furthermore, the results of the chi-squared test for independence show a p-value of 2.2 raised to the power negative 16. And since when you put that on the 95% confidence interval, you realize that it is far out of the recommended age um, range, meaning that we can reject the null hypothesis, which is accepted with a value of 0.05 or higher. Now we can move to the interpretation of the results. So, based on this, we can see the majority of the respondents claim not to feel a financial burden on their lifestyle. If you go back to the graphs, you can see that. And yet, about 80% of respondents attest to not securing their financial future. When comparing respondents who are confident in their financial literacy to those who aren't, respondents with higher confidence are generally reported to have greater financial stability and less concerns about changes in their present and future lifestyle. Also, some people may be able to fund their lifestyle as stated in the first interpretation, but the data suggests that that might not be through financially stable means, which may put such people at financial risk later, so maybe risk of debt. This suggests that there are potential lacking variables as to how these people are funding themselves, which is why they do not feel the financial burden. But it does not mean that they are not at financial risk or that the lack of financial literacy could not hurt them in some way later on, which is why we should encourage financial literacy. We should encourage financial classes, lessons, educating people so that the working classes do not suffer later. The working classes and people who are working age and above do not suffer later on in life. Thank you once again for listening. My name is Elizabeth Bakunyapa, and thank you for joining me in my end of semester presentation. I hope you had a wonderful time. Here are the references as promised, and I hope to hear from you again.